what did I do today? I was outside, punched that tree. Only hit abs here in my room. Just the general like 100 crunches, like leg raise things, whatever the fuck they are. Um, well, just cursed like 30 seconds into the video. There goes monetization for this in the future. But um, other than that, like, I mean, what else did I do? I went ahead. I was reading some more studies and stuff like that. I recently started looking into uh, the rest times between certain muscle groups. How way I can go ahead and more optimally, structure my workout. Like, oh, if I'm doing chest and triceps, later on in the week, I can go ahead and hit triceps again, along with like fucking biceps, triceps, or yeah, but biceps, calves, forearms, that kind of stuff. I don't think I'll ever really have to worry about forearms too much. I usually train forearms pretty often. I mean, oh shit, I forgot this shit was mirrored. But damn, I was hoping I was getting some veins on my left forearm. I've been trying to get those for a while. Uh, strangely, in terms of veins, like, start to kind of feel my bicep vein. When I'm in the gym and I shake my arm like this, I can see it. Um, this little spot right here, I actually got that from tricep training about a week ago. Ended up ripping it. I've been wondering this whole entire time, like, what is it from? What is it from? And then I realized, like, oh shit, that's from me going ahead and pushing too hard on triceps. But other than that, I mean, I've just been kind of, other than those rants there, I mean, I've just been focusing on like trying to optimize my training routine more, go ahead and make it so then I can have more progress, more growth. Um, shit. Something I've been kind of thinking about recently is like, man, you got a limited, finite amount of time. You know, like you better do the things that you want to do. Like without doing the things that you want to do, like you're just sitting there being normal. Like nobody wants to really be normal. If you want to be normal, I mean, go ahead, do your thing, man. Me personally, that's not gonna work out. I gotta, I gotta pretty much go ahead and like do something great, you know. Like I can't stand just being idle in life. If you're pretty much like me, I mean, these videos are gonna be kind of a testament to that. Of like, I don't want to stay idle. Like I got big plans in the future. Like I want a 12,000 square foot house with a garage where it like rotates. So all I gotta do is just like roll fucking dice and then hit the button so many times I end up with my car for the day. I have these big ambitious goals. I only have like a finite amount of time to do them in. So think if you have like if you're around if you're a teenager right now, like go ahead and get started on the grind, By the time you're 30, you're not going to be able to do most of these things. You're going to be looking for a wife, wanting to have a kid. I mean, you gotta do the things that you don't want to do. You gotta sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. Like you just can't. If you have big goals, you just can't handle being normal. You just gotta go out there and do it. And don't be. It's the same thing that applies to the gym. Like if there's, let's go ahead and do some multiversal stuff. If you're if there's a version of you who's tired, if both versions of you are tired, let's say this, and you know, there's one version of you that's like, oh, let's go ahead, let's just stay home, rest today. Then you get another version of yourself that's like, well, I'm tired, let's go to the gym. That version of you is going to end up being better than the one that like wants to stay around and sit home. You know, same thing's going to apply when it comes to getting to your goals later on in life. If you want to go ahead and have a big old house by the time you're fucking in your late 20s, fucking get to work, dude. Like, fucking start that shit. There's nothing that's holding you back because there's nothing that you really truly hold on to. I mean, the only thing that you really hold on to is life itself, the idea of living. If you're able to break away from the confines of like everything else for just like a couple years and just say no to certain things. Like your friends that want to go out and party, just be like, no, I want to focus on this. If you got like if you got a ton of girls around you and shit like that, man, and you're trying to keep up with all of them, but you also want to go out and achieve these great things, just be like, no. Besides, later on in the future, when you have more money and you're more successful as a person, you're gonna have more women that want you anyways. You're gonna be higher value. You know, like you just gotta do it. Like I'm not sure how much I can emphasize that enough. It's just like doing the thing that you want to do to get there. That aligns with the goals that like I had you set up in fucking day one of the book or day one of the winter arc. Like I have these goals written down, and obviously the one that I'm most focused on right now is my body because I want to get abs and I want to grow more muscle, and this is just a constant thing. So how am I going to get there? 90% of my free time is spent looking into how to build muscle and how to get abs. Mainly the latter, looking at studies on how to build muscle. Okay, well there we go. Now I know that I'm gonna have a bigger physique, You're fucking sitting there watching Jeff Nippard videos, Greg Doucette, whoever. Athlete X. What matters is the more that you put in, the more that you get out. It's that simple. Like I want a better body so badly, and I want to be a fucking big old bodybuilder so badly that I'm willing to spend the time, fucking 6 hours a day on top of everything else that I'm doing, where I'm just gonna be sitting there, like, just studying on some new studies, some new meta-analysis, some fucking videos or some shit that kind of like just give me the TLDR of things, that kind of shit. If I'm doing that constantly, I'm gonna know more than the guy that's, already been in the gym for 3 years. He wants to achieve the same thing, but he's like, I'm not really sure if that's worth it to me. I really enjoy playing my video games. Well, it's like he's never gonna be going ahead and getting to the point where I'm gonna be getting to. Like, it's easy when your why is strong enough to propel you to go in the direction of your passions and your goals. Like, that makes your entire thing much easier. But if it's something that you're less passionate about, like me personally, I'm not super, like, don't get me wrong, I love sales. I love sales. It's a great skill to learn, and it's something I'm constantly wanting to build and learn, and eventually use that later on when I go and start a business. But here's the thing, too, is like, is that important to me as much as bodybuilding is? No, bodybuilding is my passion. I love bodybuilding. It is the lifeblood of me. So, I gotta push myself a little bit harder, hold myself accountable, have some fucking discipline and go ahead and learn that other skill. I don't gotta force it on me because it's something I still want to do, of course, but I still gotta hold myself accountable and do the shit that I need to do every single fucking day. Compared to, you know, getting up, going to the gym, reading a study, optimizing a workout routine, looking at what bodybuilders did, what fucking is recommended by science, you know, just looking at all this data that's being used. It's just like second nature to me. Like, I could be sitting there for fucking 12 hours and I'd be happy with it. Honestly, something that I really want to do in the future as well, like probably after next sales season. I'm willing to start now even if I can get some fucking clients. But it's going ahead and training people and being like, hey man, you want to go ahead and build some fucking muscle? Let me help you out with that. And then I go ahead and help them on their fucking journey to build a muscle, Like, it's when you're passionate about something, it's a lot harder to do it. But it's those things that you don't want to do, especially if you're lower down. Like, I don't mean this in like a derogatory term, like in any type of derogatory way, you know. But like, if you're just kind of lazy and you spend most of your day like playing video games, fucking not really doing too much, eating junk food, why? Like, does that help you get to your goals in the long term? That first little step in building that discipline of like, I don't want to do this, but if I want these things, I have to start here and then slowly build, progressively overload on top of that until you get to the point where you want to be at. I remember when you're starting out too, you gotta let go of your fucking ego a little bit. Like, just relax. Like, don't let your ego tell you like, oh, I'm better than this, so I can't do that. That's something that a lot of people make mistakes in terms of like going ahead and losing fat because they go in too high of a caloric deficit. So they're like, oh, this other one isn't gonna have any results. Bullshit. A caloric deficit is still a caloric deficit. Same thing applies to fucking going to the gym. Oh, I want to go ahead and ego lift. Well, now you're ego lifting and now you fucking tore a pec. Like, you gotta let your ego not get a hold of you and dial it back to a point to where you can go ahead and start out with and then slowly build on top of that. That's the main thing that you gotta do and focus on, especially when starting out. And then you gotta hold yourself accountable as you move along. Hold yourself to that discipline and just keep on building, man. Like, if you don't go ahead and build on top of like what the foundation that you're setting, like, I mean, yeah, you've gotten a bit better, but where's the rest of the progress? If you're the same person in 3 years' time, you've done something wrong. Like, you haven't changed at all. Changing is growth. Changing is how nature and society and everything else works and evolves and grows. If you're not doing that on the personal level, you're doing something wrong, man. So my word of advice is just go ahead, try to get better every single day. Hold yourself accountable when you're starting out. Make sure your ego isn't too big for your goals. Like, dial your goals back to where your ego is like, no, this probably isn't gonna work. That's when you know that you can start. And then just build on top of that. Just continue to build and build and build and build until you're fucking, you're getting jacked. Like me right now, personally, I'm like 220 pounds. But my fucking shoulders and shit. Like, I think by the time I go ahead and cut down to 190 again, I'm gonna be looking fucking last time when I cut down to 190, I was still at like fucking what two? I think I was at 27% or something like that. Probably a little bit lower. Probably around like 24% body fat. This time I'm hoping it's gonna be like closer to fucking 20. I mean, just fucking look at me, bro. I'm a goddamn unit. Just do the things that you don't want to do in the beginning and build off that. That's the number one thing when it comes to self improvement. Do the things that you don't want to do and build off that. If you guys want to go ahead, come join me like next year, or technically this April through August to September, going ahead and doing sales. Let me know down in the comments below. Same thing, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of shit. You know the gist. But I hope you guys have a good